All right, guys, we're fixing to plant the stuff. We put the seed in this little earthway planter. It's a lot easier to do it that way than trying to go down and put the seed per hill. All right, so I'll start going down like this. And I'll push it down there. Now that one tiller I got has kind of made it rough to run over a little bit, but these little roots, they came in with the fertilizer. I have to come back later and just pull those out so they don't take root, no pun intended. All right, here we go. Right, when you plant the corn's a pollinating crop, so you want a bunch. If you don't want to do just one row of corn, if you got a small garden and you want to put corn, you got 10 rows, just put like a little bit on each row and make it like square block, what we call blocking. And then it'll pollinate. All right, the next thing we're going to put is the poinsettia cucumber. Bush cucumber, the guy at the seed shop said they're not doing it anymore. So I had some seed left from last year, and this is the poinsettia that we're going to plant now. So what I'll do, we'll put about 4 or 5 seeds to the hill. Then you got to be careful with the okra and the cucumbers. I mean the cucumbers and the squash and zucchini. Really, all the seed is not to plant it too deep. Cucumbers don't require much depth at all. Beans and corn can go deeper, about 1.5 inches. But your cucumbers and squash and zucchini, you want to do maybe 3/4 to an inch, not even deeper than an inch. So we cover this, not too heavy. Not too heavy. Not too heavy. I kind of, this rake will give me a consistent depth on it. All right, now we're going to do the squash and zucchini. We're going to spread those plants out because they get huge. So I usually put them about a full step apart when I do them. So I'll just do one step. I'll do me a little bit of a hole, another step, a little bit of a hole, another step, a little bit of hole. Yeah, probably a yard or a little more. And then these rows are wider than the corn. Corn will grow tight together. Squash and zucchini needs more room, so we give them a little bit better of an area. And if you just do a step, it'll automatically kick into where you need it to. Just hold your rake at the same spot. Try to keep your rows straight so that when you go to till them, you won't look pretty weird. These are real thick chunks of manure. Be curious just to see if they do better on the plant growth, you know. Guys, when you're not using your tools, don't leave it laying down like this, because if you're not paying attention and you step on it, it will come up and knock the doo-doo out of you. Same way with your rake there, turn it down so it don't knock you out. I got a chipped tooth to show you how it knocked me one time and chipped my tooth. I think we can work this hoe a little bit quicker than we can that rake. Be careful not to put that hole too deep too, you know, or the seeds too deep. You can actually dig the hole in, but just don't put much dirt into it. And then as it comes up, you can pull dirt to it.
How deep should the seeds be?
The squash and zucchini no deeper than 1 inch. I like to do mine between about 3/4. One year, they got planted too deep. Somebody was helping me, and I guess they wanted to cover them up good. And like not one seed came up in the whole row. So it's usually a sign that it was planted too deep. And the thing too is if you get the rows too close or the plants too close, it's not going to produce as much. You'll get a few, but the ones that got plenty of room to grow will do much better. If you get it planted early before all the bugs hatch out, you don't have to use the pesticides. I'll plant mine in 2 chunks, about 3 weeks to a month apart. That way when they're coming in, they won't all come in at once, and you have veggies all along. It all comes in at once. It makes for a pretty busy couple of weeks. Because when it comes in, you have to pick it. And squash, when it gets going wide open, no less than or no more than 2 days apart should you be picking it, and ideally about every day. And when you pick it, you can train it. So when you're out there in the size that you like to pick, just go with that. And then every day or every so other day, you'll get a reaping of it. If you don't pick it, keep it picked though, it'll quit producing. So keep it picked on a regular basis, and it'll get too big and too hard to use, too seedy or too tough. So I put about 3 seeds to the hole. A lot of people only do 2. But I don't like to go back and replant, which seems like I always have to anyhow, but we make it work, won't we? Right now. So I've got all the holes done. I put the manure down there. I'll come back and set the seed up. And as soon as it pops up, I'm gonna come back and put a little fertilizer around it. Now you can pre-fertilize, it'll help it a little bit. And then you only have to do 1 side dressing when the time comes. Unless it's okra, and then you have to do a little bit more. So when we get over there, we're gonna cover this up, but we don't wanna cover it up too much.
Looks like more than an inch though, right?
Actually, it's not time it pulls down. And once the rain hits it, because it's real soft dirt, it'll mesh it down. You could actually come through there with your feet and step on each little hole there and pack it down, and it wouldn't hurt it. So like I said, once you get down there, let nature come water it. If it doesn't, you may have to put a little water on it yourself. But we're supposed to get a good rain. And that's the one thing when you're doing it. Watch your weather forecast as far as your freezes and all. Freezes, if you have a late freeze, you can't really do anything about it. But like if you see it's going to rain in the next day or 2, get your garden planted before then. And then the rain will help it grow. Plus, if you try to chop and cut this stuff up when it's wet, it's a lot harder to work. So let the rain be your friend and work around it. All right, so this is the green beans. We changed the plate. The plate's a little different for putting the beans in than the corn. Corn's got 4 holes. It spreads them out a little bit. These beans, they plant pretty thick. But we're not going to plant as many because I got a request not to put so many in there. I mean, face it, guys, green beans thing, I only eat so many of them, right? So we're going to put the green beans in this row here, right behind the strawberries. So, you ready to do this? Here we go. Yeah, that little break in the hole there. So what I'll do is just kick some dirt over that one, huh? Ready? All right, so we got the beans, the squash, the corn, the cucumbers. I'm gonna come back and put like little spaghetti squash and everything, a couple little different things. These rows will be held up for the later squash, this one's gonna be tomatoes and peppers. And then the next 2 will be squash and zucchini, the second planting, so that we don't have them all coming in at once. We've got our first phase planted. We've got our squash, zucchini, cucumbers, stuff like that going. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you tune in and subscribe. If you have questions, send them to me. I'll answer them the best that I can. And tune in next week when we're going to show you how the progression of the garden. Make sure you like and subscribe, and thank you very much for watching.